All right, now, before we start this next gigantic major topic, let me ask you one thing, okay? A very simple thing. If you have something like 4/3, okay? And let me ask you this. You're going to multiply by a number, okay? You multiply by a number, and it's equal to 1. What must this number be? I don't care, any number. If you have 4/3, you have to multiply by a number. What must this number be in order to equal to 1? 3/4, okay? Or in simple terms, we call this a reciprocal, right? So if you multiply by the reciprocal, you get 1. Okay, let me just lay the groundwork and understand. I hope you understand why. Okay, because when you multiply by the reciprocal, they simply cancel each other out. Okay. Now, why is this important? Because if you are going to look at number 10, we are going to solve an equation now. Okay, it's not just simplifying an expression. We're actually going to find out the value of x. And we are like, huh, okay, what do we do? Now, I want to make sure that your thought process is very focused, and that is your job is to get x by itself. Okay, and by that we mean you have to get rid of the 4, you have to get rid of the exponent, you would get rid of the 10, and eventually you would get rid of the 2, one step at a time. So let's go ahead and start approaching this final goal, right? So that we can have x by itself. What would be the first step? Get rid of 4 by subtraction, right? So then you have 16 on the right. So and then on the left, you have this. And now, how can we, quote unquote, get rid of the 2/3 exponent? Yes. Yes, but I'm going to say it in a very specific way. I'm going to say we don't say, well, I'm going to put it this way. Instead of saying multiply by the reciprocal, which is true for the exponent, but I'm going to say we raise the power to the reciprocal on both sides. We raise the power to the reciprocal. And we do that because now these two can multiply. And they multiply to become what? 1. And that's why we have only 2x plus 10 left on the left, which is wonderful. Okay? So that's why I asked you a little question earlier right here. How do you make 1 if you have a fraction? You multiply by the reciprocal. And how do you multiply reciprocal for the exponent? You raise to the power. That's why you need the rules on Wednesday. Yes. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to talk about next. What about 16 to the 3/2 power? Again, what is the root in this case? Cube root or square root? Square root. Okay, so your eyes are now looking at the fractions and you know what it means. It's the square root of 16, which is 4. 4 cube is? What's 4 cube? 64. 64. Okay. I told you the other day, earlier this week or last week, I said you got to know all the perfect cube numbers. That's where it pays off. Okay. And then you subtract 10, which becomes 54. And then the rest is easy. Okay. The rest is easy. So the most challenging thing is if you have an exponent that you want to get rid of, what do? We say, oh, you raise the power of the reciprocal. Okay. Because that's a rule that we can use, and we explain why we have such rules on Wednesday. So if you need to review, you can watch the earlier video from Wednesday's lesson. Okay.